Satoru Gojo is one of the main protagonists of the Jujutsu Kaisen series. He is a special grade Jujutsu sorcerer and widely recognized as the strongest in the world. Satoru is the pride of the Gojo family, the first person to inherit both the limitless technique and the sixth size in 400 years. Son Goku, on the other hand, is the main protagonist of the Dragon Ball series. He is a low-class Saiyan warrior who through hard work and determination became the first Super Saiyan in 1,000 years, and surpassed not only every mortal in his multiverse, but even surpassed many gods as well. These two are pillars of strength for their respective worlds, and throughout my TikTok For You page, I've seen many people discussing a battle between the two, and there are people who believe either one would come out as a victor of this battle. But I am going to first discuss the strengths of each character, and then come to the conclusion of which one would truly come out on top. Gojo, in addition to his overwhelming levels of cursed energy, is also an extremely formidable martial artist in close combat, with extraordinary physical prowess to back up his skills. Q&A with Chiji Akatame revealed that Gojo is as skilled as the millennia-old Kenjaku in terms of pure hand-to-hand combat. Without any cursed energy, he was capable of completely overpowering Jogo in hand-to-hand combat, delivering several precise attacks on Jogo's fatal spots, and could even casually fight off and overpower both Jogo and Haname with sheer close combat, easily countering their attacks and landing powerful hits that swiftly pummeled them into submission. Satoru is also an extremely fast fighter, capable of moving faster than the eye can perceive. He managed to easily outpace Jogo, throwing almost imperceptible punches and kicks. Gojo can also eliminate 1,000 transfigured humans in just 5 minutes. Now we've discussed Gojo's hand-to-hand combat prowess, we're going to be discussing his most powerful abilities, starting with his curse technique Blue. Blue is the byproduct of Gojo amplifying the limitless and negative energy, producing a vacuum. Through these, Gojo creates a scenario where the world itself is forced to correct itself and fill in the negative space, causing all matter in the range of the commanded space to be pulled together. Red, on the other hand, has the opposite effect, using his reversal technique to invert the properties of Blue. Gojo activates a divergence of his infinity and causes an extremely powerful repulsive force, repelling all matter in its vicinity. Being an ability that is powered by positive cursed energy and formed as a reverse curse technique, the ability has 2 times the destructive ability of Blue. Gojo can then merge red and blue, creating Hollow Technique Purple, resulting in an imaginary mass that is launched at the target. However, none of this compares to Gojo's most powerful ability, Infinity. When something attempts to hit Gojo, the person or object in question instead hits the infinity between himself and them. Infinite amounts of finite space separate Gojo and the attack, and therefore the opponent will never touch Gojo due to that infinity between them. Though that is Gojo's most powerful ability, it is more defensive. However, there's one more offensive measure which Gojo possesses, which may be his most powerful, even surpassing Hollow Purple, that being his domain expansion, Unlimited Void. Unlimited Void creates a metaphysical space that causes the victims to receive all kinds of stimuli and information endlessly, not only restraining their thought processes and actions, but if they can't handle the infinite amount of information going into their brain, they would certainly die. Now on to Goku. Much like Gojo, Goku is also an extremely formidable martial artist, with extraordinary physical prowess to back up his skills. He is able to create strategies to give him the upper hand against warriors with far more experience than himself, some with 1,000 years of experience like Hit, and then there is Beerus, who we can only speculate is at least millions of years old, and Goku is only able to execute those strategies due to his incredible martial arts ability. Now, onto Goku's strongest abilities, starting with his transformations. Goku has various transformations which increase his power exponentially, even the weakest of which, being Super Saiyan, gives him a 50 times increase to his power, and once we get up to Ultra Instinct, the increase in his power is unimaginable. Next, there's Instant Transmission. This technique allows Goku to teleport to anyone in the universe he can sense the energy of. This allows Goku to evade his opponent's attacks by teleporting around them, and he can then also use this to land surprise attacks, like the instant transmission Kamehameha they used against Cell. Speaking of which, Goku has access to multiple ki-based attacks, including the Kamehameha, a beam-based ki attack which is stronger than Goku's physical output, which can go on for incredible distances, and Goku can even alter the direction of the beam after it is already fired. Now we've discussed some of the key abilities of each character, let's get into the battle itself, and explain why this isn't a close match at all. Although I have mentioned the abilities of Gojo and Goku, I haven't talked about how strong each character actually is. So let's start with Gojo. There isn't a single Jujutsu Kaisen character which can scale to moon level, including Gojo himself, and Goku had the power to destroy the moon with a Kamehameha as a child at the earliest and the Saiyan saga at the latest. Some people make the assumption that as Holy Purple is an imaginary mass, that means it has infinite attack potency. However, Sukuna, who has exponentially less durability than Goku, was able to tank the attack, so Goku would be able to do the same. The only way Purple would actually be able to damage Goku is if he is caught off guard, like in Resurrection F when Goku is hit through the chest with that random laser gun. But since now Goku can actually use Ultra Instinct within its base form, that is near impossible, and since we are discussing an actual fight between the two, Goku would certainly be on guard either way. This means Gojo's only real win condition would be his domain expansion, as Goku's durability would be irrelevant when it comes to the information being put into his brain. So I do see that as a way Gojo could possibly kill Goku, but Gojo would actually need to get the chance to use his domain expansion, which would be near impossible for Gojo to do. However, even though it is near impossible for Gojo to damage Goku, the question is, can Goku bypass infinity to damage Gojo? The simple answer is yes. Firstly, the instant transmission may be able to bypass Gojo's infinity, even though infinity creates infinite amounts of finite space between Gojo and whatever is trying to attack him. In technical terms, Gojo is still standing directly in front of Goku, which means Goku would still be able to sense Gojo's energy and possibly teleport through infinity in order to strike Gojo. But even if the use of instant transmission wouldn't work, we would simply need to argue that Goku has infinite speed, or at the very least, his attacks have infinite speed, or can travel an infinite distance, which we can easily do, starting with looking at Jiren. In Jiren's fight with Hit, he is able to move even though Hit has put him in a technique where time is frozen, giving Jiren immeasurable speed. And while in Ultra Instinct, Goku surpassed this Jiren in speed and has only gotten faster since the Tournament of Power. However, Goku was even able to do something similar before the Tournament of Power, with his rematch with Hit, or only being in Super Saiyan Blue. But Goku can actually be scaled to immeasurable speeds in just his base form, as in the Goku Black Arc, Zeno erases the entire future timeline. However, Goku is then able to move within that space where time does not exist, in order to get Zeno to come back to the present with him, meaning in only his base form, Goku has the speed necessary to bypass infinity. Now, let's talk about how Goku's attacks would also be able to bypass infinity, even if he didn't have the speed necessary, even though he does. We will first go back to Battle of Gods, where Goku and Super Saiyan God and Beerus clashed fists. It caused shockwaves that travelled across the entire Universe 7 macrocosm and threatened to destroy it. This means the shockwave travelled across not only the entire universe, which was stated to be infinite in size, but also the entire otherworld, which has multiple universe-sized bodies within it, all of which being the same infinite size of the living universe. Therefore, the shockwaves from Goku's punches travelled multiple infinite distances, and Goku then absorbed the power of Super Saiyan God into his base form, along with getting exponentially stronger since then, meaning Goku can release shockwaves from his punches that should also be able to bypass infinity, yet again, just in his base form. To further back this up, Goku in Ultra Instinct shook the entire world of Void, which is infinite in size, this meaning his presence alone was able to travel an infinite distance, further showing his attacks should also have the capability to do so. So, Goku should be able to bypass Gojo's infinity, and then Goku easily has the power required to kill Gojo. Even though Gojo does have a reverse curse technique, meaning he can regenerate nearly any injury, Goku has dealt with enemies with this capability before. Piccolo Jr., Cell, even Majin Buu. Couple that with Goku's near unmatched battle intelligence. If he doesn't completely eradicate Gojo with a single hit, he would quickly come to realize his regenerative capability. And even if he didn't come to the conclusion that the regeneration starts from the brain, he would then just consider his regeneration to be the same as Cell or Buu. So he would just aim to erase every atom of Gojo, which he could very easily accomplish. So, like I said from the beginning, Goku vs Gojo is not close. Gojo has no way of even damaging Goku unless he is off guard, which in this case, he wouldn't be, and Goku can very easily eviscerate Gojo. I love both characters, and even though Gojo may be considered the strongest in his verse, he simply can't scale to the Titan of Power that is Son Goku. But that is my take on the topic, so if you guys have a difference of opinion, or any more feats that could back up either side, then put them down in the comments. I'm interested to see all of your opinions in the comments below, and hopefully you guys can have some friendly debates with one another in the comments as well. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and I want to thank the channel members for the support. I appreciate you all, and I hope to see you all in the next video.